Today, I met a woman. As I drove on my journey, I saw her stranded on the side of the road. Her emergency lights flickered, prompting me to stop to ensure she was okay. I pulled up next to her, rolling down my window to see how I could be of help, if any. She lay atop of her car hood, staring at the sky as clouds slowly floated by. I asked, "Do you need help?" Surprisingly, not startled by my presence, she lifts herself from the windshield, looks over at me, and mildly replies, "I've ran out of gas." She then throws her legs over the side of the car. Landing on her feet, she sways side to side for a second before catching her balance. I smile at her, hoping that my grin shows I'm willing to aid her with the task of getting gas for her to get back on the road and safely to her destination. There's an awkward silence between us two. We both stare, dumbfounded at each other. She speaks again, telling me that sleep has been the only thing she has been able to do. "How long have you been stranded?" I ask, unsure of what to say or offer next, for she has yet to say yes to my first question of needing help. It's been 3 days, yet it feels like I've been stuck here forever. A look of despair creeps onto her face. Mine shows bewilderment, for I don't understand why she elected to stay still in this one spot for 3 days. I awkwardly grin, unsure of exactly how to react or what to say to what I felt was nonsense. How could one do nothing but sleep during a time in which moving forward up the hill, even by foot, was better than staying out and waiting for someone to finally come along to rescue her? She resumes her excuse for stagnation. "My dreams during my time of slumber while being stranded here gave me so much hope. When I woke the next morning, I was still stuck here, waiting." She nearly chokes as the words leave her mouth. I exhale, wanting to question her sanity. I dare not ask, "Are you ludicrous?" For she just might be, and our coincidence of crossing paths could lead to my demise. Instead, I choose amiable empathy and hold my tongue. Again, I offer help. "Ma'am, would you like a ride up the road? I don't live too far from here, and the next gas station is literally just over the hill. You probably couldn't see it from where you're stranded, but if you would have walked maybe just a few steps ahead from where you're parked, you would have saw that your way to a better place than just sitting idle under those trees of darkness was nearly just a few strides ahead." "You're a lifesaver," she yelps. Without hesitation, she turns back to her car. She quickly retrieves her purse from the front seat before swiping the keys from the ignition. Before closing the door, she pushes a button, and the trunk pops open. She sprints over and hurriedly begins to unload its contents. Before I could stop her, she starts to unload bag after bag. Small ones, large ones. Ones that take nothing more than a few seconds to remove and plop down beside her. And others that are a bit more heavy that take more strength to carry. She begins to walk towards my car and opens the back door. Confused by what she's not doing, I explain to her that I can only give her a ride to the gas station up ahead. But there's no room to carry anyone's heavy load but mine. She gasps and drags back the bags to her trunk, throwing them all back inside, then slowly returns to my car and takes her proper seat beside me in the passenger. As she buckles, she stares at our car through the window until it's no longer in sight. There isn't much talk between us during our short journey, We both stare ahead or out the window. There is silence until she does something that shocks me. She opens her purse and pulls out a cell phone. Now, the cell phone itself isn't the surprise. What she does next is what disturbs me. The phone isn't powerless, which one would think after being helpless for 3 days it would be. It actually has battery life. My face squeezes and twists, now showing complete disgust and utter repulsion. I calm myself, sure now that this woman I met and offer a ride to without thinking twice is for sure insane. I blink a few times, thinking that I'm dreaming. I stop the car. After slowly turning to face her, I carefully, yet in full anger, blurt, "You've had a literal lifeline this entire time? A way to get yourself from being unstuck on the side of the road, yet you refuse to use it?" At this point, I'm beyond flabbergasted. She simply replied, "I didn't know who to call, and since I got myself stranded, I figured I'll just figure it out on my own." I stare at her for what seems like an eternity. She says nothing, only deeply peering into my eyes as tears slowly roll from hers. Her soft whimper turns into deep moaning and loud wailing as she releases what seems to be regret. She mouths, "I'm sorry," unable to allow any sound to escape as she tries to catch her breath in between sobs. My anger for her stupidity leaves, and my disgust turns into sympathy. I'm not sure why she chose to not help herself before I came along in perfect timing to do just that. Unsure of my ability to choose the correct words in that very moment to comfort her, I put the car back in drive and finish our short journey to the gas station. I choose to extend my hand and hold hers. My mind begins to roll as fast as the car's tires upon the gravel. I try to come up with a reasonable explanation for her consciously allowing herself to stay stuck in the same place for 3 days. It's very evident she could have easily helped herself the very moment she ran out of gas, by calling someone and asking for help, or simply deciding to walk until she found the nearest gas station, which was only a mile ahead from her point of purposeful complacency and strandedness. I came to the conclusion that just maybe she had something going on mentally that she can't even explain. I choose in that moment not to judge her for how she ended up on the side of the road, or even the choices she made to deliberately stay there. It may not have been as easy in that moment to come up with a logical decision to help herself by merely taking a few strides ahead in order to better her situation. Our journey comes to an end as I pull into the station. Without hesitation, she hops out of the car. She sighs. Sounds like a bit of relief. She turns to me and thanks me. Before leaving, she says, "Nice to meet you." I reciprocate the notion, but instead express, "Nice to leave you." Today I met a woman. I met myself. Who I am yesterday can be carried into my tomorrow. For I am no longer that woman, but the one who finally decided to help herself. Hello, my name's Tomiya. Nice to meet you.